The Prisoner, starring Patrick McGoohan, was one of the greatest TV series ever produced and one of the most baffling and surreal. In the fifth episode, the Schizoid Man, McGoohan, who plays number 6, confronts one of his greatest adversaries, himself. Or at least it's a version of himself, a facsimile, a doppelganger, out to destroy number 6's identity. McGoohan had made his name in the earlier series Danger Man, in which he played a spy called John Drake, working for M9, a division of the Secret Service. It was a little like Bond, although Drake is often seen as an anti-Bond figure. There wasn't a huge amount of glamour, but there were plenty of gadgets, and the plot could be dark and quite cutting edge, although not nearly as surreal as The Prisoner would go on to be. McGoohan tired of playing John Drake, and it was after that he and others developed The Prisoner. There's even a theory that John Drake, seen here in another episode of Danger Man, is number 6, that number 6 and John Drake are entirely the same person, and there are clues in both series which point in that direction, although McGoohan always denied it. In The Prisoner, which first aired in 1967, we meet number 6. We never find out his name. He wakes up in a mysterious place known only as the Village. Everyone is referred to by a number. He is number 6, and he's told that the authorities in the village are trying to extract information from him, which he tells them that they will never be able to get, principally why he resigned. We never really find out what his job was, but it's fairly clear that it was in intelligence of some sort. Whose side he was on is never made entirely clear either. In the village, number 6 comes under intense pressure to disclose why he resigned, and as you can see in this picture, the village is patrolled by a mysterious white sphere. In The Schizoid Man, the 5th episode of the series, we find out that this mysterious and malign white ball is called Rover. In The Schizoid Man, number 6 wakes up one February morning and is shocked to find that he's grown a moustache overnight and is no longer right-handed. He's even more unnerved to be tasked by number 2, who's effectively the boss of the village, or one of them, to impersonate his most prized prisoner and destroy his sense of identity. The prisoner is number 6. At the start of the episode, number 6 is practicing mind reading with number 24, Alison, and they appear to have established a good psychic connection. Number 2, effectively the village's day-to-day controller, seen here on the left, played by Anton Rogers, brings in number 12, who looks just like number 6. Number 12 is also played by McGoohan. Number 6 is subjected to aversion therapy, which trains him to do everything left-handed normally. He's right-handed. It changes his tastes and instincts. He's drugged so that he has no recollection of what happened to him. And when he wakes up, he's told that he is in fact number 12. The real number 6 is informed by number 2 that the plan is to break number 6, the imposter, by convincing him that he's not number 6 at all. Number 6 and number 12 take part in several tasks designed to prove who's the real number 6, but the aversion therapy means that number 12 is able to outperform number 6 in, for example, marksmanship. As we can see here, number 6 would normally be an expert marksman. So number 6 struggles to prove his real credentials. It even turns out that number 12 has number 6's fingerprints. Jane Merrow plays Alison, number 24, and she's summoned to demonstrate the unique mental bond which Alison has with number 6. But on this occasion, it doesn't work. The psychic connection appears to have been lost. The mind reading, or supposed mind reading with Alison, was done using Zener cards, which contain weird symbols, and one person has to guess the design on the card which is concealed from their view, and the idea is that this could demonstrate extrasensory perception, or ESP. Number 6 figures out what has happened to him when his memory is jogged by the sight of a blood blister under his fingernail, which he got prior to the aversion therapy taking place. And it's spread quickly, which suggests that a number of weeks have gone by, and yet his calendar has only moved forward by one day. He slowly begins to figure out what's happened to him, and he reverses the damage done by the aversion therapy by administering himself with an electric shock. In vengeful mood, number 6 makes for the lodgings of number 12, confronts him, removes his fake mole, and forces him to disclose his real name, Curtis, and the password, which will be needed to get past Rover. The password is the same as the title of the episode, The Schizoid Man. The real number 6, when he's confronted by Rover, provides the password, The Schizoid Man, and is safe. Curtis tries the same trick, and Rover isn't having it. Rover targets Curtis and smothers him to death. Number 6 then tries to turn the tables on the village authorities. He assumes Curtis's identity. He goes to number 2 and tells him that number 6 is dead. Number 2 says that wasn't the point of the mission. You're going to have to go back to our superiors and report the failure. Number 12 and number 2 are clearly old chums, and on the way to the helicopter they chat, and just before he's about to take off, before the real number 6 is about to take off, number 2 tells him to give his regards to Curtis's wife, to number 12's wife, Susan, which the real number 6 agrees to do. He gets on the helicopter and it looks as if he's made it. He's finally getting out of the village, but the helicopter is then brought back, and number 2 breaks it to him that he's rumbled the whole thing because Susan is dead. She died a year ago. The Schizoid Man was filmed in 1966, and the writer was Terence Philly, who says he was told by McGoohan that the writers decide what the story is when they start writing. McGoohan himself said he didn't really know what the series was about, and that gives you, the writer, a great deal of latitude. And Philly said that McGoohan was keen on the episodes having a surreal vibe to them, which indeed they did, and McGoohan would encourage writers to veer away from the standard, the conventional, the linear, and bend it out of shape, do something a little different. And indeed the series succeeded in doing so, and as it progressed became ever more surreal. The Schizoid Man works so well because it gets to grips with the key themes of the series, to do with identity and freedom and liberty, and the extent to which the state, in the form of the village authorities, might go to destroy an individual's sense of identity.